chat going now? Chat is totally not connecting. So I will refresh the chat. 30 seconds in. Oh, we'll enable chat timers today. Why not? Okay, the mics are on. It was just a reboot. It was Shitlips and the Re-Engineer crew. You know, whoever works over there at Windows 10. And let me tell you something. When I go to restart my computer and it starts up and it goes to the splash screen, the very beginning, it says you've entered the incorrect password. Dude, every time I restart my computer. Does this happen to you guys on Windows 10? Does it bring up a thing and it says, hey, you've entered the wrong password when you restart your Windows 10 computer? Guess what? That's right, Patrick. We're Hodl Gang. We're in it for the long run. That's right. We don't worry about it when it dips. And if it dips, we buy more. That's all. We know it's going over 100,000. So I'm assuming that nobody else has to experience that on Windows 10, but it happens to me. So every time I restart this computer, it brings up a page and it says you've entered the wrong password. So I have to click on something, switch profiles, go to another profile, and then I get to put my password in to get into my computer. That's Windows 10 engineering. Yeah, that's their new operating system. They couldn't even figure out the login on it. The very beginning, the opening scene, they couldn't even get that right. So, you know, whoever's over there at Windows 10 working for Bill Gates, hey, maybe go pry your lips off of Bill Gates' cock and go do some fucking actual coding. You fucking nerds. I didn't want water. I wanted kafefi. All right, so we've got audio now, right? You guys, I know you can hear me. I figured it. You guys would figure out that I was live. There was a whole bunch of you here when I had to drop the last show. All I had to do was reboot the computer and get the software running. It took 5 minutes. So apologies for that. But I'm here. I hope you guys will start saying hello to me in the chat at any given moment. That would be great. Anyone at all. Besides Patrick John Welder. He's good too. He said Hodl Gang. Right when I was starting. No? No one else wants to play ball? It's alright, you don't have to if you don't want to. I got stuff to cover today, and you know, you can pay attention or not. I basically want to cover this stuff for my own education purposes. I'm going to be watching a video, and you're more than welcome to listen in. That's what I'm going to say to y'all from now on. I'm going to watch a video, and if you guys want to watch, it's going to be here running. When should you take profits on Bitcoin? All the time. Take profits all the time. Always buy and sell it. Buy and sell it. Buy and sell it. Hi, Diana. You know? Buy and sell it. Secular Talk is live. Oh, no, he's not live. He says premiering now. Anyway, I'm going to watch this video. It's not long. It's just a few minutes. And like I said, I want to learn something, and you guys are more than welcome to watch with me. If you want.
Luch, I got a question.
While we get high.
I want to ask you something that you're not allowed to talk about.
He calls them Luch. I love it.
What's going on with sovereign wealth funds? Any insights that you can share in terms of, it feels like...
Yeah, that's the non-regulatory stuff I can totally...
All right, so it feels like we had individuals, they front-ran Wall Street, institutions, etc. Yeah. Then we started to get the institutions. Those institutions were financial institutions and corporations, both public and private.
Insurance companies.
Insurance,
corporate balance sheets.
That cohort base is now in and getting in. The last two are nation states and sovereign wealth funds. We know that El Salvador is obviously in. There's probably some other countries the United States doesn't like as much that are doing things, just not announcing it. The sovereign wealth funds, a lot of people haven't been talking about them. So what's your thoughts there? Any insights that you can share?
Yeah, they're coming. The sovereign wealth funds are on the way.
listen to what he's going to talk about. He's talking about international money coming into fucking Bitcoin and crypto. Last night, for those of you who were missing a late night show, I just want you guys to know, Adam Benson was watching my show last night, pre-recorded, and he thought I was live. He was high. And he was sitting there typing to me he's like, hey, what's up, buddy? How's it? Oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. You know, and I'm sitting there, and I had a couple friends come over last night, and we were going to do some dabs, and I saw Adam was in the chat talking to a pre-recorded show. So I said, I'm going to call him up on Facebook, and we'll do a private show just for Adam Benson. And I called him up on Facebook Messenger, pulled up camera, we could see him, he could see us, and the four of us all did dabs together, and we talked about crypto and shit. It's like he got his own little personal show last night, man. Awesome. And I want you guys to know, if you'll spend more time on Twitter, following @Nays Garden, promoting me there like Adam does, or if you'll participate in the chats, even when I'm offline, and you know I can see those chats if I just did a live stream, and the show's over, and you come back and you watch it, and you participate in the chat, I will see your chats coming up on my screen. And if I see that, I might surprise you with a call on Facebook Messenger and give you your own private smoke session. For those of you that I see going out of your way to promote this show, why not? So many of you have earned that. And we had a great time with Adam. We probably hung out for 40 minutes last night. You know? Previous videos. And stop yourself? Well, don't stop yourself from now on. Fucking do it, dude. Fucking promote, support, man. Let your voices be heard. It's like what I said. It's like what I said yesterday about those of you who have been bullied by police officers. No one cares. No one cares to hear from you. But I'm giving you a platform. I'm giving you a voice. I'm giving you a place where at least 20 other people, if not 200 other people, if not maybe 2,000 in the future, if the channel ever gets fixed and somebody comes back and sees that you were brutalized by police. And I give you a little bit of a voice. I give you a little bit of a platform. But if you lift me up, it doesn't just amplify my message. It amplifies your ability to speak to others as well. So remember that, man. Use me as your platform. That's why I'm here. I'm always asking you how you guys feel about stuff. Sometimes you decide not to play ball, and that's cool. You could use that as a prize for your quizzes. Right, Billy? Yeah, you get a personal smoke sesh with me and whoever's here at the table with me. Repetitive. What's up, Repetitive? What are we talking about? We're, Nubs, Zyxo, just so you know, dude, you're going to get blocked as soon as you come in here with any kind of misinformation. You're blocked. Bye. You know, you want to get blocked from a live podcast that fast because you're an idiot? Be my guest. Hey, Godfather, you're gone too. Bye. You know, we're going to smoke out. We're going to have some cannabis, and we're going to have some fun. And if you can't just accept reality, then I look forward to you guys suffering the consequences of your own ignorance. You can rewind that and listen to it a few times until it starts making sense. All right? Everybody else, no law regarding cannabis. Cannabis is tisms for all. Cheers, everybody. Well, I'm glad that your animal came home, Karen. Good. I'm sure everybody was worried for you. All right. Cheers, guys. Repetitive. You don't consider whether something is factual or not. You have to accept facts. Is cannabis a drug? Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, got a problem around that? I'm literally using drugs right now. You got a problem with that? Caffeine being one of them. Caffeine's a drug. Good morning, Kevin K208. It's going to be a good show just as always, but better. Okay. Man. I guess you love drugs, Stephanie. I guess I love drugs. Drugs love you, Stephanie. I love you, Stephanie. That was easy, wasn't it? That's a little harsh, actually. I'm gonna have to dispose of that properly. Let's do a dab instead. Kind of hurt my throat just a little bit. Stephanie, oh, you sending me hearts and smiles. Crazy love. Ooh, I like crazy. Crazy's good. We like crazy. That hit you took yesterday morning had me cracking up. Dude, that hit fucked me up. I was not expecting it. I didn't remember that there was fucking oil on top of it. That was a bad maneuver. I got so high. I don't like doing that at the beginning of the show. Hey, Talib, what's up, buddy? From Michigan. Yes, you are in Michigan. We know that. You say it every time. Yes. Bacio Gelato. Oh, and he's smoking Bacio Gelato. Hell yeah. All right, cheers, guys.
Some of them have already established small stakes in them. I'm making a trip next week to the Middle East. I'll be speaking at the FII conference in Riyadh. I have a whole slate of meetings with different sovereign wealth funds related to this topic. I think that they're open-minded. You know, I will share this with you. I can't give you the name of the fund, but I have one Middle Eastern sovereign wealth fund that's a big investor of mine, and they really wanted to redeem on me when I made the Bitcoin investment. And I begged them to be patient. I begged them not to. And then, of course, Anthony, what happened was Bitcoin went from 65,000 to 29,000. And I have to confess to you that the heat was on me. And I went over there to see people, and I said, please, you know.
He could have gotten his head cut off.
Be patient. Here's how we're thinking about this. And yesterday,
you know,
I got a call
depending on who he's dealing with.
From the head guy, and he said, you know, I just want to thank you for bringing me into the future. I now see what you saw.
The vision.
You were bold enough
the laser eyes
to do that for me. And he said in the history, I'll share with you. He says, you know, we've got these art consultants.
You see it for what it is.
And Joan Whitney Payson, who owned the Mets, her daughter once said, well, God bless our art consultant, because there was an artist that cut his ear off named Vincent van Gogh, and we bought the art for $300,000. And in 1987, we sold it for $41 million, which was a big number back in 1987. And she was like, well, thank God for that art consultant, because he saw something in that artist that was going to manifest itself into the future.
You know,
and that's what
it reminds me of
the Best Business Show, Ant.
What my father started this company, this mini storage business, years ago when I was 15 years old. And my buddy that I was in high school with, right? And we graduated high school. And him and I went to college together, and we graduated college, and we were out of college, I believe, but he was very young. And he calls me up on the phone. He's like, I need to talk to you. We want to get into your business. We want to start a mini storage business. We think it's a great idea. And that was my buddy Lance. And he had the laser eyes, man. He had the fucking vision. You know, not too many people my age at that time had that shit. But Lance was all over that shit. And he said, can you set up a meeting between the manager of your company and me so we can, you know, I want to learn some things, and we want to build a project. And I was like, absolutely, bro. That's fucking exciting. I mean, it's always good when you've got competitors that you're friends with in the business instead of complete fucking strangers, you know, who don't give a fuck about you. And if your competitor, you know, a few miles down the road or in the neighboring town is somebody you went to high school with, well, then you're going to throw each other fucking business. You're not going to try to fucking hurt each other, you know? And when somebody comes into, you know, Edgewater and says, hey, man, you know, I'm starting a business in Lake Mary. And we'd be like, well, we don't have a place in Lake Mary. But check out our friend Storage Plus out in Lake Mary. They're great. And you'll love them. They're very nice people. And they send us business all the time. And, you know, and that's how it is. And it was like that with the recording studio business, too. You know, I had friends that had recording studios. Yeah, we competed. Yeah, I was jealous when I found out they got a great band that didn't come to me. But at the same time, dude, if I was booked And there was no way I could. And somebody was like, "We got to get this project done, and we're gonna get it done." I'll tell you where to go. Go check out my buddy's studio over here. They're great people. They're gonna take care of you. You're gonna love them. You know, and you might lose a customer along the way, but they're gonna send you business too, and they're always gonna remember that. Now I'm confused, Billy. Which one is Carrot Butt? I'm gonna say it's what does he call him? The Mooch? Scaramucci! The Mooch. Does he call him the Mooch? What does he call him at the beginning of the video? His name's Scaramucci, right? I can't remember. Anthony Scaramucci.
That's what you Pomplianos are doing. You're showing somebody something that's happening.
The vision.
Because it's hard to believe.
Right?
And
you gotta
say something to you that it sounds too good to be true.
Talking to my mom, talking to my sister. That's it. It ain't talking to y'all, because I really get the feeling that most of you guys get it. Whether or not you want to participate in it, you get it. My mom and my sister, it's like, whoosh. And I understand that fight. I understand that mountain standing in front of you to try to convince someone, anyone, of anything that you know is true, but they don't believe it. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, if they don't want to believe something, man, the suit looks different, but the t-shirt guy always looks that way. The smiling one. Oh, I don't know, man. It sounded painful to me.
So they don't want to do it. And
hey, man, different strokes for different folks.
Says, well, something that's too good to be true, you run. You don't want to do something that's too good to be true, but let me show you something that's too good to be true. This,
you know what?
See it?
Now, by looking at that guy, now I know what that expression would look like. Thanks to you and thanks to that guy. What's Scaramucci's? Hey, man, he's holding up a fucking visual aid. Let's go back. I fucking love shit like this. I love it when somebody holds up an object and pontificates.
But let me show you something.
Let me show you
that's
something.
Too good
Let me
to
tell
be
you
true.
that.
See it?
Yeah.
This is too good to be true. Okay, that eats up the world. It takes all the books in my library, all the photographs. I've got access now to all the information. Let me ask
Happy
you
quarter of the hour. No law regarding
like
cannabis. Cannabis isn't just for all. Cheers,
everybody.
everybody.
Congress, or have my smartphone to do a research report? What would you like to do? Would you like to go to the Dewey Decimal System?
No, smartphone.
In the Library of Congress?
Give me the smartphone. I'll find it in 3 seconds.
Fully charged for the day. What would you like?
For years, I've always thought the Dewey Decimal System was stupid.
yeah. All right, but you know, the point I'm making is this phone is too good to be true, and the market capitalization of Amazon or Apple, too good to be true. $10,000 going to $21 million in 24 years, too good to be true. So this is technical properties that are happening before our eyes, and we either have to accept and embrace them and be willing to propitiously allocate to them. So let's say you don't believe me or you don't believe Anthony Pompliano. How about 0.5% of your portfolio? How about 1% of your portfolio? You know, Plan B, I think you've interviewed him, Pomp. Plan B said to me on my podcast, if you took 1 cent and you put it in Bitcoin 10 years ago and you had 99 cents in cash, and that was your asset allocation, that was your tactical asset allocation model, it outperformed everything. Everything. Okay, so guys, put 0.5% in, put 1% in. This is the early innings of a technological revolution.
Man, he does a much better job than me. I need to have my mom and my sister hear the last 2 minutes of what Anthony Scaramucci just said. I'm telling you that he just fucking nailed it. Now, anybody that would choose to work for Donald Trump, you know. But the fact that he got fired so fast, that's kind of a positive thing. Number 3. He could just be way more devious than we ever imagined, and that he secured that job with Donald Trump, not out of the fact that he supported him. because maybe he did not support him. Maybe that's why he was fired in 11 days. But maybe out of just the fact that he knew he was going to get recognition to land jobs like this after he got fired. Could Scaramucci be that fucking smart? After listening to him speak for the last 2 minutes, I'm afraid to say, yeah, dude. He's like a fucking mastermind. Happy 420. Psst, unreal, pal. Nobody's even smoking 420s with Baba Blue Draws anymore on the goddamn live streams. What are you even doing, pal? What are you even doing, pal? Nobody's even doing it like that. What are you doing? Hey, man, while I'm doing this, I'll go back. I'll listen to that one more time.
Phone fully charged for the day. What would you like? Okay.
For years, I've always thought the Dewey Decimal System was stupid.
yeah. All right, but the point I'm making is this phone is too good to be true, and the market capitalization of Amazon or Apple too good to be true.
Happy 420, everybody! Cheers.
Going to $21 million in 24 years. Too good to be true.
Listen.
So this is technical properties that are happening before our eyes, and we either have to accept and embrace them and be willing to propitiously allocate to them. So let's say you don't believe me or you don't believe Anthony Pompliano. How about 0.5% of your portfolio? How about 1% of your portfolio? Plan B, I think you've interviewed him, Pomp. Plan B said to me on my podcast, if you took 1 cent and you put it in Bitcoin 10 years ago and you had 99 cents in cash, and that was your asset allocation, that was your tactical asset allocation model, it outperformed everything. Everything. Okay, so guys, put 0.5% in, put 1% in. This is the early innings of a technological revolution where the blockchain and things like Bitcoin are going to de-layer the society. If I were American Express or Visa, I'd be worried because the transaction speeds per minute over the blockchain are way faster. It's way cheaper. Why do I have to, as a merchant, accept a 3% charge 10 years from now? Why will I have to do that? If everyone's got a smart wallet and a smartphone and some interoperability on the internet over the blockchain, why would I have to do that, guys?
You're not going to have to, obviously. Right.
Well, no more. See, Ant, you don't remember this. You kids are Italian kids, but I'm going to set you in 1985, probably before the three of you were born. I'm waiting in Rome at the post office to get to a phone booth to connect to an AT&T operator to call my mother. Okay, to let her know, because I could call her once a week. It was $3 a minute. I could get her on the phone to let her know I'm okay. So waited online. I got into the phone booth. AT&T operator, here's my credit card. Hi, Ma, I'm okay. $10 phone call for 3 minutes. Fast forward, we're doing this costless over the internet, right? I can log onto a Wi-Fi in an Italian cafe, make a internet phone call to my mother for no charge. That's what's going to happen to financial services.
Banking.
It's happening right now.
Right.
Okay, you just happen to be at the forefront of it.
Dude, I just moved thousands of dollars from Bitcoin. I took a little profit from Bitcoin into my bank account. 0 charge. It cost me nothing to move that money. Number 2, it was in 1 second, the money appeared in my bank account. From crypto, from Bitcoin. That simple. Sell the Bitcoin, put the cash in your bank in 1 second. You need some cash to go buy something, whatever. Okay, take a little out of crypto, put it in your bank real quick, for free, use it in your bank, whatever you got to do, pay your mortgage, truck, buying gas, whatever. Cool, great. Keep that low, because it's not doing anything. And keep that goddamn piggy bank in crypto. Crypto is your piggy bank. Crypto is your savings account. Crypto is your checking account. Crypto is your store of all of your wealth. You have to think of it like that. It took me a while, guys. I didn't say that at first. I was like, remember, only put in what you can afford to lose, remember? I used to say that. I don't say that shit anymore, do I? He's literally saying put in fucking 0.5% of your net worth. That's what he said. At least do that. Put in 0.5%. Put in 1%. At least. Don't miss it. You know? So this is he expresses it so eloquently. I'm really impressed. I'm surprised he was fired by the Trump administration. You know, Trump would be president. Guarantee you guys. Donald Trump would be president of the United States today if this guy was running the fucking show. I guarantee it. Donald Trump. This guy made Donald Trump shrivel up that big, and that's why he got fired. This guy has the laser eyes. This guy has the vision.
I'm a little bit farther behind from you, but trust me, I'm catching up. And I'm just trying to educate my clients that that's what's happening. Okay, yes, I made that phone call because that's all we could do back in 1985. But today I can talk to her over Zoom costlessly.
She loves you. I already know. I don't even have to talk to her. She's an Italian mom. She loves you.
Hope to God, man. I renovated the house. A good Italian son's supposed to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I pay for the Gucci, shoes. I hope she loves me.
Damn. So, Ron Paul talking finances, gold prices. Does it get much better than that? Experts, gold, Bitcoin, silver, Stansberry Research.
On October 20th, during Stansberry's most highly anticipated event of the year, renowned analyst Matt McCall made a bold new prediction and said that despite everything you're seeing in the news, supply shortages, inflation, a so-called aging bull market, and everything else going on, there's an even bigger story most investors are missing. For a short while longer, you could see exactly what Matt's predicting and what he thinks you need to do in response. And when you check out the replay of this event, you'll also get the name of a tiny stock he believes could go up 10 times, 50 times, and possibly even as high as 100 times in the years ahead. To hear Matt's big bold prediction for yourself and learn how to get the names of Matt's 3 favorite crypto plays, simply head to mattprediction.com. Again, that's mattprediction.com. Check it out for yourself. All right, let's get to today's segment. Welcome back to StansberryInvestor.com. After the short-term fix on the debt ceiling temporarily raised the government's borrowing limit to close to $29 trillion, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says the debt limit deal will keep the government funded through December 3rd, but she has warned and told Congress it is imperative to increase or suspend the debt limit to provide longer-term certainty. Here to talk about this with me today is our esteemed guest. He's former Congressman Ron Paul, now the host of the Liberty Report. Dr. Paul, it's always good to be with you. Welcome back to the show.
Great. Good to be with you.
Dude,
A lot of ground to cover with you.
dude, when I listen to Daniela Cambone, or however her last name is pronounced, when I listen to her speak, dude, I don't care if she's freaking bald, bro. I love listening to her. She's got her finger on the pulse of all things financial, bro. And it's like, yeah, you could talk about her roots, but all I'm hearing is genius coming out of her mind all the time. Just listen to her speak. And all the people that she speaks to, listen to all the nice things they have to say about her. Oh, you remember that time we were at that conference and we'd start blah, blah, blah. And
Here,
oh, yeah,
Dr.
blah,
Paul,
blah, blah.
first, I want to get your thoughts on the
She's
debt
great.
ceiling, the can that keeps being kicked down the road. Now, Janet Yellen, Treasury Secretary, has warned that if the debt limit wasn't raised, that we should, we would see.
And she might save your ass, too, financially, if you listen to her. She's good about that stuff.
Financial calamity. Was she right, and how does this play out?
You know, they play this game all the time. The many years that I was up there, I heard it constantly every time this came up. The debt limit, and the government's going to close
Shut down, right?
Occasionally they close down the Washington Monument. They play this up big time. But I really think it's just a distraction. I think the government they threaten. They say, you know what's going to happen if we don't have it? We're going to default, and they're implying, they don't say it, but they're implying that people aren't going to get their Social Security checks. Nobody's paying. There will be no payment, and that is not going to happen. They're going to do it even if nobody even looked at the debt limit.
I'm not even using my equalizer. It's off.
Because they lie and cheat and steal. And what they do is, when they're in big trouble, we can't even audit the Federal Reserve, and they have control of trillions of dollars. So when you have a financial crisis, you can bail out banks around the world and different governments around the world and the corporations and the banking system. They're spending trillions and trillions of dollars, but it's all off budget. Nobody adds it up, and nobody knows exactly what it is. But the whole thing is,
I wish Bernie Sanders wasn't kneecapped.
That's what inflation is. That's why what they're doing, because the default is the devaluation and purchasing power of the dollar, and that is constant. And they've admitted this more so now in recent years than ever before, because about 5 years or so ago, maybe even longer, the policy was we need inflation. When they talk about inflation, they're not talking about money supply. They're talking about prices going up. What we need for a healthy economy is
that's a show-stopping question right there from Stephen Culbertson. It's a good question. He says, are there any politicians who aren't corrupt? And I propose this. The system is set up for them to be corrupt. Okay, so this is how it works. They have to get people's votes, right? In order to win in an election, you have to basically lie to your constituents, some of them, to appease them. Because you can't please all the people all the time. Everyone knows that. So the people that confront you in public, the people that you address, the people that go to your website, you tell them one thing. And then when you become a politician, you realize, I promised all this stuff. I'm only going to be able to do so much, if any of it. So the system's already set up to take these people that are supposed to be the upstanding members of society and turn them into a fucking liar. And let me tell you something. The establishment knows that. The oligarchs know that shit. They play that shit like that. They want to throw it. They want to rub it in your faces. They pay for that shit. They literally pay for those advertisements. They pay for those interviews. Oh yeah, man. They're like, look at this dumb motherfucker. We're going to pay for a lot of money for this dumb motherfucker to promise you the world. Then they're going to get in and they're going to do everything that we command them. Because we've got money and they're taking it from us.
Need to have prices going up at 2% a year. Oh, that's not so bad. They're only going to steal 2% of your purchasing power every year. As they print money and inflate the currencies, prices go up, and it's hard to predict who's going to be punished the most and all. But that's what goes on constantly, and it will vary because of the subjective theory of value. Some things are going to go up faster than others. But eventually it gets out of hand, and I would say that's where we are right now. Prices are going up. So all those people that you've heard in Washington begging and pleading, if we only have 2%, the economy is going to be booming. Well, right now, so-called economy is still booming, and they're well over 2.
No, I didn't talk about the killing on the set of the Alec Baldwin movie because I was texting my ex-girlfriend. Remember I told you she's previously, or still, I don't know, the makeup artist for Anderson Cooper. Her and I are chatting. She sends me this link. And it's a link to that article that one person murdered, another person injured, a woman killed on an Alec Baldwin movie set when someone fired a gun that was supposed to be a prop gun and it had bullets in it or something in it, projectiles, and now someone's hurt and someone's dead. It's shocking and it's it's sad, it's crazy. It happens way too often. People get killed on movie sets way too often. And there's no telling You know, I'm sure they're investigating it to find out what the fuck that thing was. There's some malfunction, or even worse, you know, someone wanted somebody dead, you know? And that's a real caper right there. You know, think about that.
2%. They claim 5 or 6%. I say it's a lot higher than that. So the depreciation of the money, the devaluation, the reduction of real debt is ongoing, and it's not going to stop.
Okay, and I want to, talk a little more about inflation.
Like we're like
just to stick to
like
the
we were
debt.
just talking about yesterday. Remember, I have not seen this interview yet, but remember, I was just mentioning that the UK has negative interest rates where you literally have to pay money to keep your money in the bank.
Live here. I mean, I've seen, many proposals and solutions. I saw one that I wanted to get your thoughts on, that instead of temporarily resolving the debt crisis by raising the borrowing limit, Congress should authorize the U.S. Treasury to issue
I don't know,
new debt
Bad Blue
to
Jaws.
pay for authorized spending.
I don't
What do
know.
you think of that?
It sounds like modern monetary theory. Why should they be issuing new debt? That's all they do is issue debt constantly. And yeah, that might temporarily pay some bills and all, but it would also be rocking the boat. I think people aren't used to having done like that, because that same thought was carried through. Oh, well, we can handle all that debt, but all we have to do is mint one coin, $1 trillion platinum coin, and we'll pay our bills, and we'll put that money in the bank, and there'll be no debt. So it gets pretty silly. At least that one was so extreme that even
Silly.
Yellen said, well, maybe that's not such a good idea.
Right.
So
But in a way, that's what they're doing all the time. It's just that they cover it over and pretend that they're not destroying the money as rapidly as they really are.
All right, so let's take that deep dive into inflation here, because your thoughts are fascinating here. We all know how the narrative plays out. Jerome Powell has come out saying, okay, this inflation no longer transitory. Did they know all along it wasn't going to be transitory, Dr. Paul?
Absolutely.
Somebody senior discount.
They're not real smart
You need to make money to spend money?
in understanding Austrian economics, but
I think you meant you
know
need to
what's
spend money to
going
make
on.
money.
And the whole thing is when I bring these subjects up, no matter which Federal Reserve Board chairman would be, they never really argued with me, and they never wanted a real debate. They said, Dr. Paul, I think you're right about that. This is going to happen, and prices could go up and all this. But now they can use the word transitory, but what the word they always used was, we need to do it orderly. So if interest rates are going to rise, a couple years ago, interest rates popped up to like 1.85 10-year, and that wasn't orderly at that time. Now it's orderly to allow it to go up. So as long as the markets can be reassured of what's happening and they can anticipate it, you're going to see all these things happen. But the word is orderly.
No, Donald Trump is not an architect.
Which means they want to contain the panic. And this is why they have to be very, very, I think the ultimate test in prevention of the total panic will be sharply rising gold prices. So they'll do everything under the sun to send the message out there. This is pretty orderly, nobody cares about the ultimate protection. If there was a real problem, gold prices would be going up and this sort of thing. So they want it orderly, but eventually, just like transitory price inflation, well, that's not so orderly any right now, because that is playing havoc with the economy, and it's also playing havoc with our social order too, because some people suffer a lot more than others.
So do you think there's a concentrated effort right now that's suppressing the gold price? Because
This is interesting.
I've been covering this.
This
market
is what
for
I'm
so
wondering.
long, and I'm scratching my head thinking this is a perfect economic storm for gold. Yet we're not over 2,000 an ounce.
Yeah, and that argument goes back and forth, and some people who are really in a camp where I am, they say, Ron, you're overreacting. They don't sit there. They're not sitting at a table and deciding what a price is every morning like FDR did. So no, they're very interested.
Stephen, yes, he just puts his name on his buildings.
Do you know who's doing it?
He doesn't design them.
Does the SEC do this? Treasury do it? Who buys and
You know-
sells? And this sort of thing. No, I don't.
He tells an architect what he wants, and then the architect designs the building. But Donald Trump has a lot of say in what goes on inside those buildings. As far as, I want gold escalators and gold toilets. I want a grand hall. I want a suite at the top. And maybe he does have a floor plan or something like that, but he's not a fucking architect. He's not designing the actual structure of the building.
I don't know exactly, but I know one thing very confidently, that they have a tremendous benefit in making sure that gold doesn't go up $300 tomorrow. I'll tell you, let's say for some reason, the confidence in the system fell apart and gold went up $300 or $400. That would be a big deal. No, the reason is just think of what tells me that they have a great understanding of this. Just think how long they kept gold at $35 an ounce. It wasn't rigging the value of the dollar as much as rigging the ratio, the dollar price of gold. And from 1933 up to 1971, the market finally overruled in 1971, and then finally you saw the market. So as frustrating as it may seem, because you and I might sit down and we might look at the monetary numbers and say, gold should be $3,000 an ounce. We can make that calculation, but that's irrelevant. Ultimately, the market plays a big role in this, but they usually lose control. They're talking about transitory, and I think they've lost control of that already, because 2% is all they wanted, and now they're admitting 6%, and next year they'll have to admit there's 8% or something like that. But it serves their benefit, and they have done it for years. And under the when it was very necessary to really secure our empire and get the security of the reserve currency of the world from 33 up to Bretton Woods breaking down, that is exactly what they did, and they got away with it. But they were rigging the price, and finally the market says you can't rig it anymore. And this is when I got interested in economics in the 60s, because there were people writing, they ain't going to last, it's not going to last, it's going to break down, and you're going to see gold explode. And subjective theory of value helps to understand a lot of this, because you can't look at a number and translate it into such and such happen, because there's a lot of subjectivity involved, but there are also economic laws that they cannot repeal.
Right. So I just want to hone in on a key point you made there. There's a concern that if gold were to shoot up $300, $400, $500 an ounce, that it would completely shake the faith in the system, that people would be rattled and think, okay, there's something really wrong here.
Manipulation.
Right. No, that would be the evidence, and that would be nobody should want that, because we see an undermining of our liberties right now, with the type of system that we have, and when we look at our civil liberties, they would be devastating to our freedoms. But it does happen. Mises wrote about the crack-up boom. I believe it can happen, but it's sort of the end stages when everybody's just getting rid of dollars and getting rid of this stuff. Instead, you could triple the money supply by just people exchanging the money a little more rapidly. And I want stuff. Right now, they've already started, and the stores are empty.
Right.
So we're in big trouble already, and they do not have control. Eventually, just like they lost control in 1971, they'll lose control of what's going on right now.
So is the only way to regain control for the Fed a hike in interest rates? Will they be
Ron Paul is a former politician who is now a show host, Steve.
forced to raise rates, Dr. Paul? And what would that do to the stock market?
Well, the interest rates going up. Just remember a couple of years ago when they went up a teeny bit, the markets didn't like it. So if they do it deliberately, and they're probably allowing certain things to happen, as long as it's orderly. We don't want it to go too fast. But if it got out of control, yes, I mean, all the prices are going to skyrocket, and there's going to be the continuation of the abuse of our civil liberties, not only with monetary authorities. Everybody's checking account. If you have $600, you're going to be checked on and monitored. So that will come because you say, well, maybe they're not going to continue spending. No, the damage has already been done. The welfare state has been institutionalized. The warfare state has been institutionalized. We do have an empire which we can't afford, and right now
it's fucking baked into the cake, and you can't fucking undo it.
Now we're in the doldrums when it comes to our authority around the world. Even if you wanted to, grow up and act like a better community leader, the credibility is being lost. And this is a characteristic of when the credibility of the money is lost. But there's still people who are crossing their fingers and hoping that they can do it. Gold prices aren't too bad yet. We're still okay. So we have to spend more money. And just think in the last couple of years, Republicans and Democrats, we're both spending money. This is not a Democratic problem that we're facing. I mean, when COVID hit, the Republicans were in charge and the spending skyrocketed. And right now, if they start cutting back and say, well, we have to do what Volcker did. Let's follow the Volcker plan. I don't think they can do that. I think, unfortunately, they're going to have to keep printing, but that doesn't mean that it's going to last. It means that the market will decide the real interest rates.
Dr. Paul, you are a fighter of liberty, freedom. Are you concerned about the path we're headed towards in regards to central bank digital currencies? The Fed has spoken about it, the ECB, China. This will become the new world, central bank digital currencies. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, they're all going to be competing for it. Just other currencies. The Chinese would like to use their currencies. Others would say, no, what we need is just the cryptocurrency, and that will substitute, and everybody will be happy. No, there's people lining up, but I think it's right now not known. Right now, we're still in the driver's seat because people are still taking our dollars, and we still have the military might, and we still are very, very powerful. But it's going to shift, and I think there are a lot of people who would like to see their currency. And our currency gets weaker. It's not as strong a reserve currency as it was 5 years ago. But the bad thing will be when it moves rapidly and it's not orderly anymore. So call me when the orderly did and ask me whether is it orderly now or have we lost the orderliness of it all.
Do you think the U.S. will be completely blindsided? You're saying there's this idea that, yes, we're the empire. We have the almighty dollar. Everything goes okay. Look at those gold prices. Settle down, everyone. The economy's great. Do you think that it will happen and we will be completely blindsided?
The 1% won't be. They're going to pick up the pieces. No, the other people are complacent because if you look at the last, ever since COVID especially, even before that, when the downturn started with the Fed policy, the people have been reassured. I have just, been dumbfounded at how many checks can go out. Oh, okay, we need to send everybody $1,600. A couple days later, everybody has $1,600. That's faster than a helicopter. We're going to pass out money by helicopter. And they'll continue to do that until the purchasing power goes down, which it's doing it. And right now it's halfway orderly, but eventually it will become disorderly, and then you'll see the crack up boom.
He's a Muppet.
I'm curious to get your thoughts. I don't know if you saw this news headline, Jerome Powell selling between or upwards of $5 million in stocks before the market tank of October 2020. Your thoughts on whether Fed shares should be meddling in the stock market and whatnot?
Oh, that's criminal. That's
criminal.
It's criminal. That's why you don't need a Fed. You shouldn't have a Fed with that much power. So no, that reminded me of one episode. One of the
put it back on the balcony, right?
Federal Reserve Board that I knew the best was Volcker. He was more dignified and would talk more sensibly. And I remember asking him a question because back then there was a sort of a scandal there that somebody on the board and somebody privy to the open market committee was buying and selling and made some profits. And I asked him about it, and all I remember is the answer was, yes, that is the case, and we're concerned about it, and we're looking into it. But the truth is that I can't recall anything coming of it, but that was way back then. So I think it's traditional, but I think the whole system is every bit as corrupt as people benefiting by that. You say, oh no, we're not going to let people benefit personally with buying and selling stocks. Well, what about the people that are in the military industrial complex? What about the people that receive all these welfare checks and are in the medical industrial complex and the educational industrial complex? They're already, very much receiving on this. So the principle is the same. It's theft. It's theft by politicians who are very powerful, manipulating the money and credit. And that is why my position has, been well known but not well received. And that is get rid of the Fed. I mean, we don't have to have the Fed. And right now, people, I love it when they start pointing out, they cheat. But that whole system is cheating. It's the transfer of wealth from one group to another. And if
you get rid of the Fed, the stock market crashes, man. That's the one thing, and there's no one there to adjust anything. So remember that.
People only understood how this social conflict that we have right now, the wiping out of the middle class and the 1% plus are just making trillions of dollars. That's going to be the big social issue to deal with, because people aren't going to tolerate it, because they're going to keep getting poorer, and the helicopters won't fly fast enough.
The helicopters can't drop the money fast enough.
Get the money before it loses its purchasing power.
And wouldn't you say that's the incredible momentum behind the Bitcoin movement, Dr. Paul? Because your dream of ending the Fed, it may happen someday, especially with the new generation. I mean, what is really behind the popularity of Bitcoin? Well, it's a decentralized system, right? Outside of government power. And it's a system that doesn't include or involve the Fed.
But it does include the SEC and the IRS.
It does. It still does. That's for sure.
Because I love the idea of the principles and what it wants to have done in the absence of government being involved. But whenever I had the chance, I would gently suggest to my friends who love it, I said, yeah, but don't be so willing to send a lobbyist to Washington so that you are protected against any onerous regulations by the SEC or the IRS is going to leave you off it.
Yep, and to that point, we're speaking the week that we see the first Bitcoin ETF on the New York Stock Exchange. I mean, this whole system of Bitcoin or cryptocurrency is a juggernaut, right?
Yeah.
And of course, the bigger it gets, the more eyes that will come upon it. Does that concern you about Bitcoin and the crypto space? Do you think regulators will step in here?
No, I know they will. They're not going to think about it. They don't believe in liberty and let it develop in the marketplace.
This is what you got to listen to right here.
As long as you don't commit fraud, they're going to leave you alone. So no, they're going to do it. It's good theory, but I just don't think that nobody knows exactly how well it works. I've always been a cheerleader for it, and that's why I will visit both the gold and the crypto communities, because I want to base the crypto or the gold. And if somebody, if you get into a debate about that, they say, yeah, but they might do this, regulate crypto. I said, yeah, but what do they do with gold? What was the first thing that Roosevelt did? He confiscated the gold of every American. So no, it's liberty that is the only really valuable asset that we can strive for, because that makes all the difference in the world on prosperity and happiness and an ability to seek your own happiness. And
you just reminded me of a point when you talk on gold. I was having this conversation with someone, and maybe I'll ask you this as well. Do you think we could ever see gold confiscation happen again? Let's pretend, or let's say the economy does get really bad, gold prices shoot up or become, hot.
Yeah, but not like they did before, because I think the people holding gold right now if they make the announcement tomorrow and they say, all right, all you show up to your bank right now and turn in your gold, that's not going to happen.
I agree.
I think there's a sentiment in this country. I think they're weak and we've sacrificed liberties too much. But I still think there's a significant group of people that believe they have the right to defend themselves and the right to own a gun, and they have belief in protecting financially and the right to own gold. And so that's not going to happen. But that doesn't mean you should say, oh, there's no sweat then. No, it's just going to be different. It's going to be, they're going to have so many rules on how you can use it, whether it's crypto or whether
Look
it's
at Bitcoin
gold.
dropping, guys.
Let's say people still will think in terms of dollars, and you want to go out and buy a house for a couple $100,000 and you have it in gold. Well, you have to get the transaction, and you have to, if you spend it, there could be a tax on the gold. What if there's a 50% tax on every time you spend your gold? So that's why I always get down to, yes, the power of authoritarianism in government is the problem, and we've allowed it to get out of control here. Unfortunately, we had a good start in this country, and we've had tremendous wealth that we have been consuming for the last 100 years. But now we have literally undermined that system that produces great wealth and great prosperity.
So are one of the best solutions to have your gold outside of the United States?
Well, for some people like to travel and they can travel easier. And right now, I won't even get on an airplane. I'm not going to go overseas. No, I've staked out my position here, and that's why when I faced that, many years ago, because we talked this way, especially back in the 70s, that was probably one of the reasons why I got involved in politics. No, we need to change things here. And for me, changing things here was not a political issue, it was an educational issue. And that's why I spent as much time trying to get people interested in Austrian free market economics and sound money as anything else, because that is the difference. If you live in a free society, if we all went broke tomorrow, 100% wipeout, and we had 100% of our liberties back again, no IRS, no Federal Reserve, no taxes, nothing like that. Believe me, if you had your freedom and the government was not to touch you, and they took everything from you with runaway inflation, just allow the people to live their own life, I think in a year would be very prosperous. I really am that optimistic about what a free society can do. A lot of people are so dependent, and they don't believe that a free society can produce, that they have to have the government sending those checks, and they won't really listen and pay much attention. But I happen to think there are a lot more listening now and realizing they better pay attention than there were 30 years ago.
Right. Well, when you say that we better be producing, I mean, talk about a wake-up call now. You mentioned the supply chain issues at the start. It's frightening. It's extremely frightening.
Yeah. What we're seeing, I keep thinking, I often wondered what it would be like in this country if we were dependent on total central economic planning, like in a social society. Then the other day when I was watching the television and seeing all these empty shelves, looks like we have total central economic planning. One way or other, intimidation, like people voluntarily don't go to work because it doesn't make any sense, or they're going to lose their job because they use the wrong pronoun. I mean, that kind of stuff. That has to be reversed, or we won't even see the restoration of liberty for a long time.
Right.
I want to just end and wrap with this. You think Ron Paul, you think audit the Fed. You mentioned that at the start. Here's some food for thought. Imagine if we were to audit the Fed today, Dr. Paul. What would we uncover?
Well, I think just how much corruption is going on. We got excited this week. A few people realized, you mean somebody at the Fed was an insider trader and traded a couple $1 million? Oh, my goodness. They're going to discover that's the whole system. You just described the whole system, because the money might be technically legal because there are laws being passed and appropriations and all, but that's all done legally. But it's immoral, it's wrong, it's unconstitutional, and you would find out that the wealth redistribution is all based on corruption, and just because you work on, there still are a lot of people in this country that will work hard. I love it when people will say, yeah, I just want to work and pay me for what I do. There are people out there that do that. But for the most part, people are expecting the government to take care of them. And that attitude, as long as this exists, and as long as there's anything left in the treasury, any purchasing power left in the dollar, I guess they will still be looking for a free lunch.
Dr. Paul, I thank you for all you do and continue to do. It's always an honor and pleasure to speak with you. Thank you so much.
That is awesome, you guys. That Stansberry research, I mean, she's got the best thing going, man. As far as interviews, the biggest people in the financial industry, all across the board. I watch it all the time, and you'll learn, you know. So, I'm just sitting here trading Bitcoin during that financial video. I'm sitting here buying and selling Bitcoin, trying trading and shit, and we'll see if I made a good choice here or not as far as trying to buy the dip a little bit. Yes, cheers. Top of the hour. It is, isn't it? Wow, we've been just dabbing like crazy. Here we go. Let's do it again. Let's play that song. Who thinks it's going to go underneath 60,500? The low is 60,480. It's at 60,700 right now. Who thinks it's going to go down underneath 60,000 and drop? Or do you think it's just going to bounce? Press number 1 if you think it's going to bounce off of 60,500 right now. And go up, up, up. We'll see. All right. Cheers. We'll see how many people are paying attention and buying, you know, to Bitcoin right now. There it is. Hit 500 and it's bounced, but it's going to go down again. It bounced up, but it didn't bounce up high. It has not gone lower than 480. It's up to 600, 65, 67, 68, 700. I tried to buy in at 60,500 as close as I could. They got me at, 700 or whatever, because they jack up the price. So basically I'm at 700 and I got to go past this point now to start making some money off my trade that I just made. So I'm literally just trying to make a few $100 right now on just a simple trade. It's fun. Dabbing and trading, learning about Bitcoin, watching those Bitcoin documentaries. I'm telling you guys, you'd love them. Go check them out. Okay, let me check the news articles. They all saw it hit near 67. We're thinking they can make a quick buck now, which they can. Yeah, there, it's under. New low, 420, 400. It's dropping right now, 60,400. It went under. It's lower. Is it going to drop now? That's the question. It hit 400. It bounced off of 400, but it only bounced up to 5, 56, 59, 59, 59, 600, 600, 611, 640, I think I saw, 650, 670. That's a hell of a bounce. This is a retest, guys. This is what retesting is. 700. What time of day is it? What day is it? Today's a Friday, right? So it's Friday, and it's 9 a.m. It's looking good, guys. It's a good thing. There's a lot of people like me right now that want to make some money. So there's a lot of people that are going to be purchasing some Bitcoin right now. So let's see what happens. It's interesting. They're going to want to use this movement to their advantage. You know? I'm looking at it, and after looking at the drop, it's the drop, it dropped, and now it's curved, and now it's curving upwards. You know? Unreal, pal. Nobody's even doing that anymore. What are you even doing? What are you even doing? What, do you think Bitcoin's going up? Psst. You guys think Bitcoin's going up? Like me? Did I buy the dip? Did I buy the dip? Buy the dip. Buy the dip. It's going back up soon. People are about to buy this dip. They all saw it hitting. They're thinking they can make a quick buck now, which they can. Right, so let's see. 87. Is it going to go to 61? $87. Again, it's hitting 870. 870 again. Huh. That's an interesting place to be bouncing off of. It's consolidating. It's consolidating on its way up. I think it's going to pump. I think it's going to pump. Look for head and shoulders and rising and falling wedges. We can do all of our little analyses. Alec Baldwin breaks his silence on the shooting. Dude, it was Alec Baldwin who fired the gun. The director of photography was killed, and the movie director was injured. Dude. What the fuck? I didn't know it was Alec Baldwin, bro. I was like, I wonder when we're gonna find out who fucking pulled the trigger. I mean, I wonder what the situation was. I wonder if he was fucking around, man. You know? Right, right? Why would he be pointing a gun and pulling a trigger at them? The director killed is your son's aunt? What? Dude, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. They don't tell you exactly the situation. I don't know why Alec Baldwin doesn't say what he did. Just say what you fucking did, dude. There's obviously witnesses on a film set. It's probably on goddamn film. You know? It's at 60,005 right now, guys. It's 500. Bouncing upwards. It's underneath it now. It got under 500 and it's dropping. Holy shit. Dude, where's our next point of resistance? I don't know. It looks like it's pretty far down. It looks like it could drop pretty far. Once it got under this, uh-oh. Not what I thought was gonna happen. I'm losing money on my little trade. Will it recover, dude? It is dropping, but it's got to stay within that wedge line. It's got a long way that it can go down to. I'd tell you, it could all go down. It could easily go down to 6,100 easily before it goes back up again. Because of, I'm just looking at the line of the wedge, which is, I'm looking at from way over here. Here. I'm looking at this wedge from here to here, this falling wedge. And this has a little bit more that it can fall. But luckily it looks like it's trying to fight back, so let's see what happens here. No? It's still falling. It could go all the way to here, I'm thinking. Yeah, it could go totally down to the, at least to 200, 60,200 it could fall. I wasn't looking at that pattern before. I was even talking about doing it and I didn't do it. There's a yellow marker. That's a big, steep fall. So that yellow marker at least slowed down that fall. A lot of buying right now. A lot of buying at 250. A lot of buying. Uh-oh, under 250. A lot of people are buying right now. look at Ethereum's dropped under 4,000 to 3.9. I don't know. But listen, guys, I got to get out of here. I love y'all. Take care. I will see you this afternoon. It's 9 right now. I'll see you guys around, maybe around 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock. I don't know, but we'll rock. All right? I'll see you then. Take care, guys. Hashtag keep it open. Dude, it's down underneath 60,200. It's underneath that fucking wedge. Just about. I'm looking for like a reverse head and shoulders, but there ain't one, bro. This is crazy. All the way down to 60,000. And it's dropping. Holy shit. Cheers. I think I've got another place I can purchase Bitcoin, and I want to right now. Let's try this one. Wow, look where it is. Oh my God. It's going to go under 60, guys. There it is. It hit 60,000. Holy shit. Holy shit. Look at that yellow marker. Is it going to get a double yellow? Oh my God, did you see the buy just happen, guys? It just jumped to 60,008, 6,100. Fuck. Dude, because everybody was fucking buying. God, I fucking hate you people. Fucking assholes. Alright, whatever. Fuck off. I'm missing the opportunity, and I'm alright with that. I don't even want to struggle with it. I'm just gonna watch everybody fucking prosper. And when it bounces up above where I got it at, I'll be happy. Holy shit, dude. This is psychotic. What a amazing bounce and recovery, guys. Look at the V. That might be the beginning of a reverse head and shoulders, guys, for a big pump upwards. There's a shoulder and a head. Let's see if it goes down and matches this point right here. And then it'll shoot upwards. Okay, let's see what happens. It'll go down to like 60,350. Retest 350 and then bounce up. And then it'll level off and then go up. That'll take a few minutes though. It's not going to happen quick. But like I said, it's Friday morning and everybody's up and people want to make money right now, so I'd like to pull some profit myself if this bounces back up, you know. I mean, pulling profit for me right now wouldn't be bad. Anyway, my buy-in on Bitcoin is way underneath 60 on the average, so it doesn't matter. But I could make a lot more, and I'm thinking in terms of a specific trade I just made, you know. So, do they try to count your plans? And let's go to your experiment row too, because call it the laboratory, the hedge. Raspberry parfait. Uh-huh. Wow. Wow. Okay, now I want them to see these are almost 20 feet tall. He said about 17, I think. Check him standing out in front of these guys. Yeah. Oh, we see it. We see it. Oh my goodness. Wow. So you clean, when do you clean the bottoms up of these trees? When do you snip off all that lower growth? It never ends. So you're constantly snipping off the bottom growth. Does that help you achieve this giant growth that you get by taking off the bottom, you think? Or is that... No, you don't think that's it?
I think it's a Lake County environment,
Mhm.
big holes,
Mhm.
and seed plants. Seeds.
None of these are from clone. They're all from seed. So you have to worry about whether or not you're going to have a male or a female out here from time to time.
Yeah, so I usually have backups, and I can usually achieve that by June 1st.
An entire seed grow, and he attributes that a lot to the size of these plants. Wow.
And the plants went in this garden on Mother's Day.
Isn't that a great video? Oh, you guys could hear it, right? The sound, yeah, you could hear it through the microphones. You guys still here? Yeah, there's a few of you still here. So what do we do? Are we going to get our head and shoulders is our question. So we've got our shoulder and head, and we're waiting for another reverse shoulder. We've got lateral movement right now. Total lateral movement at 60,829. There it goes. 60. You see that? It hit 61 and bounced down. $61. What's it gonna do? Is it gonna go back, dude, and make another fucking shoulder? Doesn't look like it, man. Here, let's back it out a little bit. See what we're looking at here. We have not had movement like that in, oh my goodness gracious, guys, at all. This is the 1 minute chart. Let's go to the 15. What are we looking at here? On the 15-minute chart, they're saying we're about to explode upwards right now, I believe. I don't know how to read the 15-minute chart like I read the 1 minute chart. But look, all that volume, guys. And what's crazy is it's reversed up top where it says 100 BP. There's more selling than buying right now, according to that. I mean, there's more buying than selling. My bad. I said that backwards. Solana, and Eagle, AVAX, Theta, all at the top. And then Harmony 1 is up in there. Polkadot's in there. Matic is at $1.51, 10 cents under the $1.61 buy-in. So waiting for that to get above there. I'll be watching Celsius. I'll be watching SNX, Synthetics, SNX, Synthetics. We'll be watching that one too. Which right now is at $9.50, SNX. Alright, it's at 61, and it is bouncing at 61. Oh, and look at what Ethereum is doing. Ethereum's about to go over 4,000 again. That's good. It's headed upwards. So this is the 15-minute chart. $61, 200. So upwards movement, man. We're not going to get our second shoulder, I guess. It just looks like it's going to ignore that and just keep going up. And looks like there's a ton of buying going on right now. Dude, it's so strong. So you guys want to see that strength. It's not reflected really as well as it is in this yellow spike right here. And this yellow spike is kind of showing it. But let's go. This is the 15-minute. Let's go down a little. Let's go to 5-minute. And there you can really see the recovery happening in the 5-minute chart. And you can compare that against anything in the past, and there's been nothing like that going up quick like that. This has just been a spike. And once again, go back to that 1 minute chart, which I like. And well, you know, son of a bitch, that is a weird pattern right there. I wonder if that means anything. It's like a forming an M, a big one. Yo, Enoch, what's up? How's it going, brother? Trying to make money on a trade right now. I took some money out of the bank, bought some Bitcoin with it at what I thought was a dip. I'm waiting for it to go up so I could take the money back out and put it back in the bank. So I'm doing a trade. But Bitcoin's got to go up, so I got to see how high it's going to go. But I think I got it at a good time because I was looking at a chart on one of my handy apps here, and it was showing me that we were in the middle of a really a big dip that's hitting a recovery. Here. I saw that at the very bottom, and I said, I think that's about to hook up, and now it's hooking upwards, so I bought it that V at the bottom, and I'm hoping now it keeps going upwards. So I'm just going to keep my eye on that and see if it continues in that general direction. Plug my phone into power here. Up we go. 61.337. So it got up to 61.37. I thought it was going to form a reverse head and shoulders, but that never happened. It just started going up, which is uncharacteristic. It just for it to do that. And the reason for it is because it's Friday, and the market, you know, people want to buy into it before the market closes for the week. People want to make some money. So there's a lot of activity. It's a Friday, you know, so. And it's in the morning on a Friday. So I was kind of counting on all of that. And as I sit here and watch this activity right now, I'm really happy with when I purchased it, but I don't know how high it's going to go, you know. Because I want to pull some of that little profit out and put it back in the bank. But I realized, man, it's like if you only had so much money in the bank and you bought some crypto and your bank is holding up on the payment, you've already bought the goddamn crypto, man. Right? That money is still sitting in the fucking bank. And it's crazy is that you can keep buying it. And because the bank is so slow that they don't even realize that the money wasn't even fucking there. And then you make more money and then you just replace it. You just put it back in the bank before that thing even hits because they're taking their time. They need to speed up their transaction processes, man. I have a feeling that people are really going to take advantage of that system. Because I kind of just noticed it by accident when I was making a transaction today. I was like, huh, money's still fucking sitting there. Isn't that weird? They haven't fucking withdrawn it yet. It hasn't hit yet. Okay, now here's a dip, but it's really high. So here, let's take a look at this back out a little bit. And see if that matches up. It doesn't as a point of resistance. It's just, isn't that weird? 61,400. $61,387 roughly. Excuse me, guys. I was just about to do my hike. Take us with you. Keep it open. Yeah, I was gonna go, and something happened and distracted me, and I stayed live for some reason. I can't remember where I stayed live. I think Bad Bad Blue Jaws said keep it up, hashtag keep it open or something. Now that the markets are all open, I think there's going to be the bulls are going to charge up. So we're at 7 to 14 right now, and I'm looking right here, 7 to 14, and we're getting the right now. I believe the 14 is the bears are leading. We don't like that. We want this number to be higher. That will sustain growth upwards, I believe. I'm not 100% sure about that. But I need to find out all of that completely. And when I do, I'll let you all know. 39.64 is where Ethereum is. $60,000, guys. Exactly 60,000 is the 24-hour low. And we're at 61.1. And this should be some lateral movement. That's giving Ethereum some time to recover. We're on the 1 minute chart again. We've got a drop in value, a drop in volume, guys. Here we go. We're about to get a yellow marker on Bitcoin. I know it looks bad. I know it looks like it's going to keep going down, but it's about to turn around, guys. We're on the 1 minute chart. We're going to get a green volume below. Probably as soon as this hits 61,000. Which it probably just did, and we just couldn't see it. We're probably going to get a green buy volume. Here it goes. That bar below is going to turn green, then we're going to get a yellow marker. Boom! Yellow marker. Ooh, look, it's flashing like to say, yay, he got it, he got it. Someone covered the bud in white powdered sugar drops. Nobody has buds like that anymore, pal. OG. Psst. Unreal, pal. Nobody's even talking about that anymore. Are we gonna even go up to $61,200? Nobody's even doing $61,200 anymore, pal. What, are you gonna go over $61,200, pal? Nobody's even trying to go over $61,200 anymore. What are you even doing, Bitcoin? What are you trying to do? $61,200, Bitcoin? What are you doing? What are you showing a green marker there, Bitcoin? What are you doing? Nobody's even doing it like that, pal. What are you going over 200? What are you doing? $200 there, Bitcoin? What are you doing? Is it going to keep climbing? Look at the Ethereum. 39.77 on Ethereum, guys. As it spikes forward and more people are waking up to what's going on in the market and going, oh, dude, it's way under 65. I could make some money before it finally goes over 65 forever. All those people who thought they missed out. Oh, man, it's already at 64,000 again, man. I missed out. And we're all like, no, you didn't. You didn't miss out on anything. Hop on. Get used to doing it. Get used to moving your money in there. Get comfortable with pulling your money out and putting it back in and using it like that. I'm very comfortable with that now. You do it at the right times. And this trade I shall make in this video. Exactly as I predicted. 61.2. 61.26. 61.25. 24, 25. 24 is the low. 23 is the low. 22 is the low. 21 is the low. 20. Bouncing off of 61,200, guys. 220. 190. Back above 200 now, but below it. It's bouncing around here. A little bit of lateral movement. Ethereum is gaining steam. Bitcoin's back over 61,200. Let's see if we have a pattern forming. No. We've got a rising wedge. Okay, so the rising wedge starts from, you could start it from here and take it to here. And then take this to here, which closes. That rising wedge closed, it broke out and it broke downwards. So now we're starting a whole new pattern. So none of this really matters now. It's probably not going to mean anything. And now we're going to start a whole new pattern and see which way it's going. So I have a feeling upwards. That's my guess because of the time of day and the week, the day and the week that it is. And it's later in the month, so not a good money day for a lot of people, but we'll see how much money people have left to play with, or we'll see people catch on like me and they're like, hey, I could make some money real quick here. You know, let me just, you know, flip a couple coins real quick and ride the waves. I'm gonna surf the coins, bro. He's surfing the hey, I'm surfing the coins. I'm surfing the coins. I'm surfing the coins. What do you want here? Look at me. Did I buy the dip? I don't know, but it looks like maybe. Maybe. I really like it when I do that, man. I like when I get it right. You know? That's the overall recovery right there on the 24-hour chart I was just showing you. Okay, wait. Now we've got lateral movement, and Ethereum is now up to 3980, guys. We have another rising wedge pattern. Oh man, wait. Yeah. Another rising wedge pattern forming. That last one resulted in a drop. So this one can result in a drop as well. It's got to go lateral for a couple of minutes, and then it breaks out of that pattern, most likely. Lateral, and now that lateral movement, it stays within the wedge. But I'm expecting the drop, so after the lateral movement, which it's been doing that for. You know, if you don't count the dip and recovery, 10 minutes. Hey, Beazle, you ready to go outside, buddy? Going out there, bud? It's nice. Look, it's nice outside. Go out there. It's not raining. Yeah, there you go. There you go, bees. Got water out here? Let's get you some of that. There you go, Beazle. Yeah, there you go, bees. It's cold. Oh, good. The umbrella didn't fall into the water. Yay. Oh, there's the umbrella. I hope it didn't break again. Good, man. The umbrella's actually in a good spot, man. It's like the winds picked up the umbrella and put it in a good spot. It didn't lock the umbrella down good enough. Okay, so we're expecting this little drop here, guys, right? Let's see how low it goes. Rising wedge pattern formed into a lateral movement, and now there's a drop. Now we've got a falling wedge pattern. Nah, the bottom doesn't match a falling wedge. We've got a triangle pattern, which is also a wedge, but it's a lateral. Oh, you want to come in? Go for a walk. You don't want to go for a walk? Go for a walk, Beazle. You're so cute. You're like, no. Don't you want to go for a walk, buddy? The gate's open. I got your tracker on. I know where you are at all times. You go for a nice long walk if you want, Beazle. Hey, hey. Hey, buddy. How are you? My Beazle. 75. It's 48 degrees outside. It's and wet. It's the sun's coming up, but it's freaking freezing. I should probably cut my trees down today. You know? So they don't fucking rot in this humidity. I have to go out there and check for botrytis today. Yeah, I wonder. Oh man, dude, I wonder what's going on with Oak Tree, bro. Holy shit, not having a cover and having all this rain. He's probably gonna chop all this shit. Those branches are just. Oh no, well he's got those. They're covered. They're netted. They're not gonna. The branches aren't gonna break. 61.23. Okay, so we dropped. It was a healthy drop, guys, and now it's recovered, and now it's showing a little lateral movement right here, but there is a wedge pattern closing, a triangular wedge pattern closing that is going. It's kind of going lateral. I use the wicks. I wonder if I shouldn't be when I do this, you know? That might help if I learn whether or not when I'm drawing these patterns, whether or not to use the wicks or not, or ignore them as outliers. No, I think they're not outliers. I think you have to keep that in mind the whole time, as how high it did get before it started going back down. $7.6 to 12.2. So I'm here. I'm totally intending to pull money out. But I don't want to do it until the value goes up even higher, and I'm hoping it does. At this point, I'm doing great, you know. So it's gone up past where I bought it. But if it goes way up, like if it goes up to 63, 64, 65, you know, and all I got to do is wait a few minutes or an hour or whatever, you know, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna wait. And I'm just going to take it. I'm just going to go right back into my bank account with it. You ready now, buddy? You ready now, big head Beazle? There you go, Bees. Go for a walk, buddy. Not interested. Not interested. What, you want some food before you go for a walk? You're like, feed me first. There you go, Bees. Drop in volume, drop in value. About to go upwards. There's a yellow marker. There should be a second yellow marker. Here we go. Here we go. Second yellow marker. Boom. Double yellow marker. So it should go up now. 61,250 seems to be a buy-in for some people. There it is, 250, 260, 270, 280, 290, 300, guys, 61,300. 300 again. It's having a problem right there at 300. good volume though. Good positive volume. 300. There we go. 300. Again, there it's through. It's nice and high. It got through pretty high. 61. 305. 61, 301. Here we go. Here we go. More volume. We got triple volume bars in the bull's butt. Just a little bit of bearish push back in the bulls and the bears. We got the bears and the bulls are fighting. Who's gonna win, the bears or doubles? The bears. Doubles. The bears. Doubles. I think the bears and the bulls. The bears and the bulls are very good teams. You should check them out and contribute to their audience by tuning in and watching the Bears or the Bulls. Of course, they are the best of the best, the Bears and the Bulls. $300. It's having a problem at this 300 mark, and I'm surprised. 312, 316, and it back under, man. There's a lot of fighting going on here. $325. That's good. $325. It got up to. It's trying. But listen, I really do have to get out of here, people. I love y'all. Take care. I think Rogi's finally ready to go outside. All right. Hey, 61,300, man. I think it's going to keep going. All right. Love y'all. I'll see you this afternoon around 1 or 2 o'clock my time. That's in about 4 or 5 hours, something like that. Turn on your notifications. And follow at Nays Garden on Twitter, please. At Nays Garden on Twitter. I look forward to seeing you over there. That's where I'm at. I will see you there at Nays Garden on Twitter. All right. Bye, guys.